See if we can get out of this rain. Gotcha. New day, new hat. You like it? Oh, settle. G'day, my name is Luke, and this is my wife Jen. And here are our two growing boys, Liam and Elliot. We've been fishing, boating, and exploring the pristine waters surrounding Fraser Island and Hervey Bay for well over a decade now. And we want to share with you everything we have learnt along the way. So hit that subscribe button, sit back and enjoy the adventure. G'day folks, Luke here. Thank you once again for watching. It's a new day, new hat. You like it? Nice and sun safe. Got a little thing on the back. Liam still says it's an old man hat, but it does the job. Rightio. We are doing, look at that. Look like Mary Poppins when I pop it like that. Okay. I've set myself a bit of a challenge today. Boys are at school. I'm exploring a new creek. Last time I brought them up exploring a creek, they all got bitten alive by midgies and then they got infections in the bites and they ended up on antibiotics. It was absolutely horrendous. So they're not with me today, they're at school today, and I'm just exploring by myself. And I've only brought one rod and reel with me. A brand new Atomic Arrows 6 to 12 pound, 7 foot. Got one of their major craft reels, the 2500 on there, and I've spooled it up with their brand new blue braid. Okay, it's a 6x braid. I've got 10 pound, and then I go down and I've got their fluorocarbon leader. Okay, well I'm pretty sure it's 12 pound. I'm pretty sure I put the 12 pound on, and the slim twitcher. Okay. So the go is today, one lure, one rod and reel, see if I can get a fish. Righto folks, one of the things you might notice is there's a bit of a pretty noise in the microphone. There's a bit of a breeze coming straight towards us. It's actually not forecast to be doing that, but you know, they always get it right. So I'm casting 10 pound braid, 12 pound leader, fairly light lure, about 10 grams, straight into the wind. And it can be really tricky. It's a great scenario for getting wind knots and things in your gear. One of the tips I can offer you is when doing that, when it's high wind sort of stuff, cast flat from the side, as flat as you can. And the minute that lure hits the bottom, get that bail arm across, don't let out too much line, because when the wind catches it and starts spinning that line around, that's when you start getting wind knots as well. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to sort of pepper this little junction here, and hopefully I don't get a wind knot while I'm doing it. But yeah, so nice and low on the side, ping it out, and then get that bail arm over so there's not too much slack out there to get knotted up. Helps with your distance in the wind and helps reduce wind knots and things like that. If you go over your head like a catapult, like we're taught to do as kids and everything, what will happen is the lure will just get caught in the wind and barely go out, but the line will keep coming off the spool and the line will just bow out really, really big, and then you're retrieving all that loose line onto your spool, and there's not a lot of tension on it, and it can sort of go onto your spool loose, and then you just keep doing that repetitively into the wind, and eventually the line will run over itself and cause a wind knot. It's one of the ways it causes a wind knot. Geez, it's shallow up there. Yeah, real shallow. I think I picked up a shell straight away. So yeah, one of the tips, cast low and flat when you've got a bit of wind around. Watch this cast and retrieve really closely. There's actually a fish following the lure back in towards the boat. The first indication I get is a solid thump on the lure that I feel through the braid and the rod tip. Then I see swirling in the water right there. He's following it, but he's not quite convinced. Then, oh, another tap. Then I think I've got him, but he's just toying with it. I'm not sure if I didn't set the hooks properly or if he was just sort of mouthing the lure. Set the hooks, Luke. Let's have a second go and see if he takes it this time. Again, watch the rod tip really closely. Gotcha. There you go, folks. One lure challenge. Worked out. So this lure, what I'll do, I'm going to get the other camera and I'm just going to show you how it swims. I'll just put us on anchor lock for a sec. I'm just going to show you how it swims. Because when you go into a tackle store, oops, here I am saying I know what I'm doing with my electric. When you go into a tackle store, one of the most confusing things is, check this out, DJ action. But I got a GoPro on the end of it. All right, so I'll try and bring this in a bit. I'll show you, see that wobble? Little tight little wobble under the water. I'll try and it's a bit hard to do it by myself. I really need somebody here to help us, but I'll swim it a couple of times. So it's a shallow dive. It goes down to about 1.5 meters, okay? When you cast it out and you give it a bit of a retrieve, it'll go down to 1.5 meters, and you'll notice when you pause it, it just slowly rises. Okay, so it's suspending. So the idea is, I'll turn that off. I don't know if any of that'll work. I'll have a look in post-production in the studio. I'll see if any of that footage comes up. But essentially, it's got that tight little wobble. When it sits in the water column, so it goes down to about 1.5 meters because it's got quite a shallow bib on it, okay? And it will sit there and they market it, I'll turn around so you don't get so much wind. They market it as a suspending lure. So no lure will sit dead still in the water column, all right? It'll just very slowly make its way up, all right? But it'll stay in the strike zone for quite a while. So what I'm doing with the retrieve is this area here is only 1 meter at most, okay? Most of it, let's go this way. Most of it is under 1 meter, all right? So I cast it out, side cast nice and flat because I've got a headwind. As I explained before, let it hit the water, give it a bit of a jerk on the retrieve, and that gets it down, and it will hit the bottom. You can feel it on the bottom. And then I just sort of 1, 2, or just 1, or 1, 2, 3, I give it a little rush retrieve, and it sort of stirs up stuff on the bottom. And then I just let it pause for a second, and it just rises a touch, and then I do it again, and I do it again. And if there's any flathead in particular around, they're going to detect the vibration of the lure, the ball bearing in the lure making noise. They're going to see the stuff kicking up, the mud and everything kicking up. They're going to know it, and then they're going to see the colour, and they're going to go, right, there's something over there that's struggling, and I'm going to go eat it. So nice flat, let it hit the water, and then I just sort of wind in the slack, and then a couple of decent tugs on the rod tip to get it down to the bottom, and then just sort of let it sit, and just mix it right up. You can just slow roll it all the way back if you want. But you can see it's quite right down there now. And when you feel it hit the bottom, just pause it, and it'll just slowly, like it'll really slowly edge its way up. And yeah, and then just hope that a fish is gonna whack it really hard. So always remember, the lure will generally do what your rod tip's doing. So if I'm pulling my rod tip down, right, so I'm up here and I pull it down, that's going to force the lure to go down, all right? Whether it's a steep down or shallow will just depend on the type of lure and the bib, and whether it's a soft plastic and all that sort of stuff, but it's going to force it down. If I pull the rod tip up, it's going to force the lure to come up in the water column, all right? Huh. Oh, what have we got here? Flathead. That was a really weird bite. I thought I was on the bottom a couple of times then. Oh. Oh, settle, settle, settle. So there you go. Beautiful fish. So we're getting a couple now. Hey? Righto folks, how good does Pelican Bank look? Yeah. If you are a first time boatie or beginner and you want to know how to get out to Pelican Bank and where to anchor and everything, that and loads more information is available on our website, fishingboatingexploring.com.au. On there you'll find links to all sorts of stuff, written blog articles, videos, all sorts of stuff, boat reviews, free GPS marks and guides on how to get to locations like this. So definitely check it out. I'm pretty much done for the day. It is bucketing down along the island and I'm going to hang out here for a little bit and dry out. Beautiful spot before heading in and picking up the kids. So shorter video today, a bit of flathead fishing, casting tips, all that sort of stuff. Hope you got something out of it. Hit that subscribe button and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao. Anyway, he took that when we were trolling out. I think because I got a big bucket mouth, it felt a lot bigger than what he is. Anyway, I'll get him dehooked and get him back in the water and see if we can get out of this rain.